Now, I asked over 400 members of our community when they signed up, what was the biggest struggle that they were having with YouTube, with starting a YouTube channel or starting a YouTube vlog? And nearly all of them, or at least 70%, the main core of them, were saying some way, shape, or form that getting started in the first place was the biggest problem. And there was a variety of reasons for this. It was fear, it was just not knowing where to start, it was limiting beliefs, it was judgment, anxiety, but perfectionism was a really, really big one. And I think perfectionism is just another type of fear. And what we need to realize is that nobody really gives a crap. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares as much as you think. So any fear of judgment or your video not being good enough or you not being good enough on camera or the content of your video not being good enough, I think you have to realize that many people just don't care at all. We're all more worried about our own life and our own days and the things that we're getting on with in general. I mean, there's bigger things going on in the world and people don't even really pay much attention to that. So your video, in the grand scheme of things, is just a small blip on their radar, and you're going to get it better over time. And often the people that tear you down are people that are jealous of you, people that aren't doing what you're doing. They're not brave enough to take the steps to even record that video or to put themselves out there in the first place. So if you are holding back because you're worried about the lighting not being right or not being good on camera, all of these things come with time. No one is perfect straight away. You don't go to university and start studying and just know everything straight away. Otherwise, what's the point in paying for 3 years of university? You might as well just skip all of that. So we all have to learn and go through that painful process of getting better and better. But you should just know that no one really gives a crap. And actually, these days, people are craving the minor flaws and the sort of the imperfections. People want the imperfections now. So lighting and all of these things doesn't matter. Perfectionism is actually going to hold you back. You're better off just doing the thing. Half of winning on YouTube is just actually recording videos over and over and over. I think the best thing you could actually do is just record crappy videos, cringy videos, and just post them every single day until you start to ask better questions and realize how you could potentially improve things and get better. Even if you don't upload them, you'll get better by just speaking to the camera, having that presence, having something top of mind that you want to talk about and to a friend, and just speaking to the camera like that. So maybe even before you create your channel, just get used to talking on camera, but take imperfect action and know that no matter what you do, if you look back in 3 months' time at the videos you created then, even if you spent huge amounts of energy and time making everything perfect, getting the right light, the right camera, making sure that you re-recorded things, you read a script, you're still going to look back and you're going to cringe at your videos because you're going to think they're crap compared to where you are now. So you just need to push forward and just focus on the value of the content. So if you are uploading videos, remember that value and quality is subjective. So what some people will find valuable in your video may not be the lighting or the polished content. Generally, if the sound is good and the camera is reasonable, people are okay with everything else. Everything else is just incrementally better. So it's a bit like buying a house. As long as you've got heating, 4 walls and a roof and running water and toilets, that you already got a pretty good house that's functioning for the purpose that it had. And then after that, you're just incrementally improving the quality of that house to improve your quality of life. But being homeless to that is a massive jump. Being suddenly in a bigger, fancier house is a good jump, but it's not changing dramatically the quality of your life. You're just in a nicer place. So you've got to look at a bit of an odd abstract example there, but you see what I mean? The incremental difference in terms of quality and the value of it. If you're just waffling and then you do a highly polished edit afterwards, then you're just polishing a turd. You're just making something that was crap to start look better. So then you're trying to hack people's attention to keep them watching for longer, but ultimately the connection, the authenticity, the value of what you were talking about was a bit crap anyways. So in which case, it doesn't really matter. So I would just focus on the actual value of the content inside and what you're delivering. But don't worry about, the type of perfect content that you're producing. Like, the strange thing that I've noticed is that the crappiest videos on my channel have often been the biggest. And what I mean by crappy isn't necessarily that the video is bad or the lighting was bad, because I think I tried to get the fundamentals right. But videos when I've been bulk creating content, I've been tired, I just have a few points I'm talking to. I had no real script and I've just winged it. But I've actually stopped and I've spoken slower because I'm a bit tired. And that's actually made me think about what I'm saying more, connect more, and have more authenticity because I'm actually trying to share more. And there was no editing or B-roll or anything like that. I was literally just speaking like I am on camera. And those videos blew up. And it definitely wasn't because of the editing. So you have to really think about how you're delivering and understanding the content around that. So it is about the connection and the vibe and the information that you're sharing in the video rather than anything to do with perfect content and perfect lighting or whatever else. You also have to remember that we humans love to self-sabotage. We let doubt creep in and niggle away at us that, oh, it didn't work because of this one thing. And we tie things together and make assumptions that aren't necessarily based in truth. Your YouTube journey, you don't know what's working. And if you upload a couple of videos and they don't do well, you can look to see if you got the basics right, but you have very little information to work from. And everybody's YouTube journey is very different. You inevitably don't end up where you started. Your channel may look very different in terms of the topics that you're talking about and the direction and angle you took from where you thought you would be in the beginning. Most of the time, we don't give things enough time to bed in. You have to just keep doing things over and over and grind through it. Like you have to stop doubting and letting that doubt and those seeds of doubt creep in so that you perhaps give up on your dream of creating and growing a YouTube channel because you think that you're not good enough or your videos are not good enough or something's not working. So you keep jumping around. Things take time to work and you have to just work through it. As long as you've researched your niche properly, you know that you're fixing a problem for people that actually want it. So you're fixing a problem that there's enough demand for in terms of at least watching videos and maybe even buying products. If you're sure about that and the value of your content, then give it time. Keep creating that content over and over. Know that you're going to doubt every single step that you take, especially as it's not working. When something starts to work, it's very easy to be like, oh, that's 100% the right direction I should be heading in. But you should be just as careful about looking at the successes as you are about the failures, because the failure might have more things right about it, but it just didn't get picked up by the algorithm. And the right video may have lots of things wrong with it, but it did get picked up by the algorithm. So sometimes you have to be careful that it's just luck or whether you're actually focusing on helping the right people, because those lower view videos can often bring in more sales and grow your channel and bring in more of the right people, where a viral video may actually do more damage. So failure is part of the process. And I think that's something that a lot of YouTubers need to understand. You have to fail and fail and fail and fail. And as long as you're failing forward and you're actually steadily getting more views, then are you really failing or are you just slowly growing? Because YouTube growth can be very vertical. It can be almost nothing really happening. And then suddenly it just starts to go up and you gain that momentum. But you can make some mistakes and then lose that momentum again and then be in another dip. And then you have to grind your way through it and then gain that momentum. And it's about holding the momentum as much as possible. But failure is literally part of the process. You can avoid it by learning some things and improving your skills, but it is part of the process and there's no avoiding it. You have to understand that most of your videos are not going to do well on YouTube. They'll probably do the bare minimum based on your loyal audience. But if those videos don't even speak to that loyal audience, then they'll stop watching them as well and you'll keep going down. So failure is part of the process. Learning how to maintain that momentum and speaking to your avatar in the right way is ongoing. And sometimes even if you think that video is perfect for your avatar and the engagement you get from people, they absolutely love it, but YouTube just didn't know what to do with it for whatever reason and it didn't share it out. So there are so many working parts to YouTube. It's not that the algorithm necessarily hates you, it's that sometimes the combination of things just doesn't work and it doesn't get picked up. And once it doesn't get picked up in the beginning, YouTube might just drop it. It doesn't mean that in future it won't get picked up. There's always potential there, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And I would say that most of your videos are not going to work. So this is why it's better, in my opinion, to create more content, especially in the beginning as you're growing. I think we also like to overthink things, and you can overthink your channel too much. I've come across this recently where maybe I've been getting too into researching video topics and having a bin of ideas that I just want a huge amount of ideas. And I think it's good to have some ideas, but you can spend too much time researching videos Whereas I can go for a walk on the beach and come back and have 2 video ideas in my mind, record them both immediately, and then I didn't even need the video ideas in my bin. So I think it's good to have ideas ready to go, but it's also good to just have an idea and just go and record it. So have an idea, jot it down quickly to develop it, and then go, right, great, press record. So don't overthink things. I think allowing things to be simple and imperfect allows you to be more nimble. So this is why I'm always saying simplify everything. Simplify things. Often me having this setup here actually overcomplicates things. I feel a lot more free when I've just got the camera and I'm sitting outside or I'm walking. It's more liberating not having to think about anything apart from just speaking to the camera as you're walking, sitting, talking. Because having all these different bits of technology, although it's very easy for me to press play, and I know about the quality of the videos is going to be good, it does add more friction. So I think just, overthinking things and making things too complicated can cause you some problems. So simplify as much as possible and don't overthink. If you've got an idea, write down a few bullet points and just press record. And as I said, growth is exponential on YouTube. As it starts to happen, it will just go up. You just have to keep doing the foundational stuff, model what works, look for what works, what did your audience resonate more with, and just keep moving in that direction a little bit, moving forward. Growth just happens through doing. If you are gradually getting a little bit better, improving, and aligning more with your avatar, but being consistent with creating that content over and over, it sounds boring, but it is. You're grinding out, just like creating a business. YouTube is like creating a business. It's about doing the repetitive, mundane steps over and over. Yes, you can be creative with your videos. Yes, you can record any way you want and come up with different ideas, but it's about doing the incremental, boring steps day in, day out. This is why having one format will probably make your videos easier. So for me, probably recording here in the studio will make things much easier for me because I can just smash out a number of videos and I don't have to worry about the weather or people being in my shot or talking too loudly or outside noises. There's too many variables for me to worry about. So although in some ways I find that more freeing, will it be easier? Maybe not. So also having a format for how you're going to edit and record your videos will just make things simpler and easier. So those are my thoughts. Try to let go of perfectionism, have some fun with it. And if you would like more help growing your channel, I will link to our community in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.